Coming up on the news this morning then, Tchouaméni to Manchester United. The deal has been revived. There is talk that Real Madrid are willing to sell.
4 years. That is how long it has been since Manchester United identified Aurélien Tchouaméni, went after him, and watched Real Madrid take him right from under their noses. 4 years of Casemiro aging at $375,000 a week. 4 years of Manuel Ugarte proving he was never the answer. 4 years of Bruno Fernandes carrying a midfield that had no business being carried by a number 10. And now, this summer of 2026, Casemiro is gone. His contract expired. His time at Old Trafford is over. United are staring at the biggest midfield void they have had since Roy Keane retired in 2005. And the player they should have signed in 2022 is finally available. The football world is calling this United's dream transfer. Fabrizio Romano confirmed it. The People's Person confirmed it. Almost every major outlet in England confirmed it in the same week. There is only one problem with how this conversation is being framed. Everyone is talking about what Tchouaméni would mean for United now. Nobody is asking what it means that United needed him 4 years ago. And the data from those 4 years tells a story that should make every single person at Old Trafford deeply uncomfortable. Because what Tchouaméni has been doing at Real Madrid since 2022 is exactly what United's midfield has been falling apart without. And one person saw it before any of this happened. On January 22nd, 2026, Manchester United confirmed Casemiro would leave the club at the end of the season. The announcement was clean, respectful. The Brazilian had given 4 years, won the FA Cup, scored in a League Cup final, and played 146 games in red. But here is what the announcement was also covering up. Casemiro had just finished a season where his pass accuracy at United sat at 81%, where he was losing the ball 10.9 times per game. Where at 33 years old, the legs that once made him the best defensive midfielder in the world were asking him to slow down. And Manuel Ugarte, the man signed to eventually replace him, never once convinced a single United manager that he was the answer. Not Ten Hag, not Amorim, not Carrick. 3 different managers looked at the same player and reached the same conclusion. This is the map that explains everything. In the 2025-26 Champions League, Tchouaméni ranked 3rd across all outfield players in interceptions, 39 interceptions across 13 matches. He was first among every midfielder in the entire tournament. Not midfielders his age, not defensive midfielders in La Liga, every midfielder in the Champions League, first. And the location matters more than the number. His defensive actions are not sitting deep protecting the back 4. They are in the press engagement zones, in midfield transition, in the exact corridors where Carrick's system demands a player to cut off second phases before they can become attacking sequences. This is not a player who defends because the system asks him to. This is a player who reads the game 3 passes ahead and makes the problem disappear before the opposition realizes there was a problem. Here is the part of this story that nobody wants to say out loud. In the summer of 2022, Manchester United were desperate for a defensive midfielder. They had opened the season with back-to-back defeats, 2-1 to Brighton, then 4-0 to Brentford, playing Christian Eriksen and Fred in central midfield. They needed a number 6, urgently. Their recruitment team identified 2 players, Frenkie de Jong and Aurélien Tchouaméni. They failed on both. Tchouaméni chose Real Madrid. Chelsea were also in for him. PSG wanted him. But when Real Madrid came, when Claude Makelele personally called Florentino Perez to vouch for him, there was only ever one destination. If Madrid love you, Makelele said, you should go, because it's the best way to be great. United, as a fallback, paid £70 million for Casemiro instead. And for 4 years, they watched the player they actually wanted become Real Madrid's midfield pillar. Watched him play in Champions League finals. Watched him win trophies. Watched him lead the French national team as Pogba's direct successor. Fabrizio Romano described United as believing Tchouaméni could be another Casemiro for them. But that framing undersells it. Tchouaméni is not another Casemiro. He is what Casemiro was in 2018, before United got him, with 4 additional years of elite football still ahead. At the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, France faced England in the quarterfinals. In the 17th minute, Aurélien Tchouaméni, 22 years old, 4 months into his Real Madrid career, picked up the ball 25 yards from goal, looked up, and drove a screamer into the bottom corner. Roy Keane was on ITV commentary. He was there to analyze England. He was there to watch Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka. He was not there to give a glowing assessment of a young French defensive midfielder who had just announced himself on the world stage. But anyone watching Keane that night could see it. The recognition. The respect for a player who didn't just score the goal, he took the moment. No hesitation, no looking for a safer pass. Straight onto the ball, looked up once, and trusted himself against the best goalkeeper England had to offer. That is not a technical quality. That is a personality. And it is exactly the personality that Old Trafford has been missing in central midfield since Keane himself walked out of the building in 2005. A midfielder who imposes himself, who makes the pitch smaller for the opposition, who controls a game not through creativity, but through authority. Keane never had to say he wanted United to sign Tchouaméni. You could see it in how he watched him. The football world is framing this transfer as a dream, but it has always been more than a dream. It has been an unfinished piece of business that United's recruitment failure in 2022 forced them to leave on the table. Casemiro is gone. Ugarte is going. Kobbie Mainoo is 21 years old and cannot carry a midfield alone. And the player United tried to sign 4 years ago, before he won everything there was to win in Madrid, is finally in a position where the move is possible. 93.5% pass accuracy, first among midfielders in Europe. 39 Champions League interceptions, first among midfielders in Europe. 26 years old, at the peak of his powers. Roy Keane saw it at the World Cup in 2022 before United even had a chance to sign him. He watched a 22-year-old drive a screamer past England's goalkeeper in a quarterfinal and recognized the personality of a player who doesn't wait for the moment to come to him. That is the player Manchester United are now chasing.